Okay. And good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening. God, I don't know what time it is anymore. We're, how do I put it? We're in the living room at my home at 4466 Prospect Road in North Vancouver. You're watching Ingram and Around the World. If I get my voice, I just ran up the stairs. If I get my voice back, we'll be okay. We have a missing guest. Fred Snyder, who was supposed to be the guest, has been waylaid, if that's the right word. Traffic, rain, so I don't know if you're from Vancouver, you know how much rain we got right now. And if you're not from Vancouver, you got to understand we're having the rain of a century. Places over in the island, which I can almost see from my living room window, are devastated, flooded, 300 houses and so on, put under the weather. So Richard is going to leave, or has left, production over there. We're going to only have one camera shooting right now. He's going to come over, and I'm not even sure what are we going to talk about until Dan Walco gets here. We're going to talk about eagles. We're going to talk about camels.
We can talk about darn near anything,
technology.
And the two of us can probably have a conversation about most subjects.
Now, I sent out some emails to specific people and said, hey, if you got a question, this is the time to call. So you can give us a call at 980-0499. Put an 866 in front of it if you're from out of the country, or from out of the province, or out of the lower mainland. And if you are local, you can get us at 604-980-0321. 604-980-0321. If you're from out of the province, out of the place, 866-980-0499. Richard will have to jump up and go and answer the phone.
Oh, that's fine. I think I can.
But you can do that. If you've got a tax person that you want to ask. If you wanted something about a little bit of immigration or something, please to talk about. If you just got a comment that you want to make, we're happy to talk to you about that as well. So where are we going to talk about here?
Well, actually, I thought maybe we could talk about a new website that I'm just in the midst of putting together.
This is the Bogon, or Gonbo?
Bogon.com.
Bogon.com. What the heck is that?
Well, as the owner of the site defined or told me when I was talking to him yesterday, I guess it was, a bogon is a unit of bogosity. And that is basically, it's something that is bogus.
Oh.
It is.
Sounds like half the internet.
Well, that's really what it comes down to. Now, you have to understand, John registered this back in 1995 when he was working with us at Whimsy.
And Whimsy, so that the audience knows, I got to remember what camera I'm talking about.
We're talking to the big central one.
The one up on top.
The one up on top of the piano. That's right.
Got to admit, this is the living room. And
nobody come in and play chopsticks.
We do have three cameras going though, which I think is impressive. Just to digress, I showed you Desert Bus.
Yes.
A minute ago.
Yes.
My son Mitchell is over at Desert Bus right now, and if you don't want to leave this and go watch something else.
Well, you might.
Desertbus.org, O-R-G, is a bunch of guys, I can't remember what they call themselves, but anyway, over in Victoria. And they're driving a bus across the desert.
An electronic bus.
Electronic bus.
They're playing the world's most boring video game.
But what they're doing is they're raising money. They're over $92,000 right now. And they're doing they're raising money, and they're giving the money 100% as a charitable donation.
This is a great way to keep kids off the street.
Yeah. Well,
pay them to be bored. This is great. The more you pay them, the longer they'll stay and drive this electronic bus across the desert.
Because it's boring.
So, I mean, I think we should get the civic governments involved in this. How many kids can we play on this?
Well, they do have a note, because there's an exponential of 7 somehow or other, and they have to raise X number of money to go another hour.
Oh, okay.
So they have to raise more money every hour to add an hour to the end of it.
It goes up each hour. Oh, well,
it's like
fine.
an earthquake type of thing.
Or the national debt.
So they are going to get away from it, and they may be very close to that too. They're hoping to raise over $100,000 this year.
Well, they're not that far away. At 92,000, they're not that far away.
They've done better this year than they did last year. Anyway, last night, Richard, because we're broadcasting from the living room, and we've got a bunch of fancy equipment, and you've put this all together and so on. But last night, I got to tell you, Mitchell, with his little laptop, which is not much bigger than this paper folded over.
Yep.
It's maybe that big. and it was $499. Has a
It's
built-in.
a netbook. It's not even a laptop. It's a netbook.
Yeah, it's got a built-in webcam.
Yep.
And last night, Mitchell had his netbook with the camera and 4 or 5 friends in his bedroom, and they were watching the guys drive the bus across the...
So they were watching their computer, Mitchell's desktop computer, with the netbook.
No, they were watching the desktop computer. They were watching the guys drive across the desert. And they had the netbook turned towards them.
Truly electronic feedback.
And they were using a thing called Ustream.
Yes.
To stream them watching the guys driving their bus across in Victoria. So he's actually gone to Victoria tonight to go and join them for the last hour or 2 of the bus ride. But it's amazing what you can do. And he set it up in Cap University yesterday.
Yep.
Turned it around, turned his netbook around like that, and I watched his Egyptian history class.
Now, did the teacher know that that's what he was doing?
I don't think so, but she was good looking. Anyway.